finding and picking the model of your dreams for your model shoot. Um, so there's probably many reasons you want to do model shoot. I don't know what yours is, but if you want to try out a new location, like these are when I look for models to do, a model shoot. I'll get into it a little bit later, but sometimes I do it for free because it's like something I want to do and I already know the model and I'm like, let's just do it. Other times I do like require a deposit when I don't know the person or I'm just putting it out in the general public. But yeah, if you have an outfit that you want to try out, if you're not feeling inspired anymore by all your locations and you're just like, I just want to, or, like, because when you have a client, you're kind of at their disposal, like you could give suggestions of outfits or locations, but at the end of the day, like how they're going to show up is how they're going to show up.
Yeah.
Um, so, or you want to try out a new editing style, like you could use your old photos, but at the same time, like, if you're like, you can't control how you had your camera setting then, lighting and all that. So kind of
Yeah.
that. Um, or potential for exposures. Like for this shoot, they were both reps for Aerie, like the clothing brand. So I knew they were going to tag Aerie. I knew they were already like an established reps for them, so like there was a chance that it was going to reach a wider audience, and it did. Like some of their photos like got on Aerie's like Instagram and on their website, so it was just like, okay, do it for fun. And also you could get published in cool places. So these are some of the reasons you want to do model calls. So these are the steps that I usually take that works well for model calls. First, you have to identify your ideal client. So that's like one of the first things that we would do in the boot camp too, is like really figured out who your ideal client is, especially for this like model shoot, whatever you have in mind, like because you're probably going to want to do similar shoots in the future, and that's probably why you're doing it. I think for you, like you want to do like elopement type of model calls, right?
Yeah, because I want to start doing that.
Yeah, and it's such a good time to start doing that. I'm setting up a Yosemite elopement right now, and I'm so excited. I
Yeah.
just got it today, and I'm like, yes, it's like my dream. I don't know what she looks like or they look like, and what I don't know if they're what they're gonna wear, but if they show up in something that I'm not, interested in like photographing next, then I'll definitely like do a model call. But at least I know how to do it. But you just want to like for that particular shoot, you want to be like, who's my ideal client? Like for me, an elopement ideal client is like a bride who wears beholden dress and a flower crown. And I've had this vision for like the longest time, and now all I get are brides who wear beholden dresses with flower crowns. It's so funny. I don't know if it's because like that's who I like manifested in my branding. Like, I told my branding people, I'm like, this is my ideal client. Like I want my every bride to show up in a beholden dress, or knockoff. I don't care if they buy it on Amazon. It looks like a beholden dress. Hey,
Yeah.
like I'm okay with that. But anyways, so just you kind of have to be really specific about your ideal client. I even write it down, like how old is he or she? What branding clothing are they going to wear? Where do they like how will they be searching for elopement photographers? Like are they going to Google elopement photographers, or do they belong to Facebook groups? There are so many like Facebook groups for brides. So like kind of identify where they would be hanging out at. um and then so that's kind of where you'll start looking. um I'll get into that a little bit more, but these are just the steps. And then make sure they're invested. Like you want a model that's going to show up, number one. Number two, they're going to like listen to what your visions are. And ideally you want them to share the same vision, so it's easy. But sometimes like if they're like, well, okay, I'll wear this outfit for you, but I really need a headshot for my LinkedIn, and I'll be like, okay, fine, we'll do both. Like we'll do an outfit change. So but like so make sure they're invested, and sometimes you might have to meet in the middle, but that's okay. And then you want to select the right person. And then these are the four things that I'll kind of go over in this presentation. But of course, like, there's prepping for the shoot and at the
Yeah.
actual and photo shoot follow up and like promotion and all that. But today I'll just go over these four since you're at that stage of finding models. Okay, so this is where you can go to find models. What kind of CRM do you use?
Um, I don't know what that means. Sorry.
Oh, so so client relation management, I think. So it's like how you keep track of clients and like how you communicate, like there's like systems like Honeybook is one, Dubsado, 17 Hats.
Yeah, so right now I just keep track of them on my own because I don't have that many.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah.
So Honeybook, I don't think you even have to use it as a CRM to get
Hmm.
into the community. Honeybook has a community. You can create a free account through Honeybook. And if you haven't yet, use my referral code because I get money, you get discounts. It's a win-win. Um, but you can just sign up. And you can post in the community. It's a community of other creatives. There's like, other vendors like florists and some models, influencers, like anybody in the creative industry. This is where I found like, I think at least 3 or 4 of my models doing boudoir. So that's even like a smaller niche, so
Yeah.
elopements, I think you can even offer like, hey, if you do this, like I'll give you some headshots or branding shots, whatever you're comfortable with. But so Honeybook post in there like I'm looking for a couple, or even just a bride. Um, and I think you will get more responses if you do say like, hey, if you're not getting married, but if you're willing to try on my dress, I'll give you a branding shot or whatever. You'll probably get a lot of responses. Um, so that's one place. And so friends, so I think that's what you did mostly through Instagram, right? You probably have a lot of
Yeah.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can go beyond Instagram and think like, okay, who's a friend that fits my, vision? Um, and don't be afraid to like, I got so many no's from my friends and it was so embarrassing. I'm like, what, I'm offering a free shoot? And you're like, I have so many of my friends that were like, no. And they were like,
Yeah.
even like not great friends too. So it was really awkward to like, for them to even say no because like we were acquaintances and they're like, no. But it's okay. They'll be flattered. They'll be like, oh my God, you think, I'm this like,
Yeah.
I can be a model. So they'll be flattered. So don't be afraid for the no's. People just have their own reasons of not wanting to do them. Um, and also like on Instagram, try to find people who kind of simulate your ideal client and just ask them. So like it does feel like a little creepy. Like I feel like a creepy stalker and be like, hi, can you be my model? Like but
Yeah.
I mean, most people respond with like, "Oh, thank you so much," not right now, or like, whatever. I haven't had that much success, to be honest with you, doing this method. But it could work, and maybe I wrote here, but I think eventually, maybe if that person is such a good fit, then I might like offer to pay them, because it is a good investment. Like that image that you take could get you like 20 inquiries or 20 bookings, so it's like at the end
Yeah.
of the day it is like a marketing cost. You're paying a model that fits your ideal client to just like make it happen. So other influencers, so like you don't have to have that person doesn't have to have like 20,000 followers. Like if even if they have like 600 followers, but every post they post like gets like so much engagement, like that's way more important than finding somebody with 10K followers.
Yeah.
Just kind of do like search through Instagram to see who might have a good following, because like after the photos like that would be another good marketing tool too. um I've also partnered with like other like for family shoots. I partnered with like Bay Area toddlers. That's a good big account. Um for a free giveaway, you could specify like a free giveaway for a photo shoot at, Yosemite, or something. And you can wait, where are you located?
Montana.
Montana. Oh, there's so many. Oh yeah, Kalispell, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there. My aunt actually lives there. So it's so pretty there. So where whatever the popular place is
Oh
or
yeah.
you want to shoot. Um, I mean, most giveaway winners are, not too picky. So it's a great way to just kind of like, and then there's no pressure that they're paying you. So you can kind of just be like, oh, here, let's, do it at this time, here are my suggestions of clothing. Like you
Yeah, yeah.
be a little bit more open about it. So, and again, like Facebook groups, I said, brides are looking on Facebook groups. Um, some photographers like flat out, say I want an elopement type of shoot. It'll be
Hmm.
free. Like, if you're engaged and you want like some people, I've seen people post like, well, if your wedding has been affected by COVID, but you still want beautiful wedding photos, like,
Yeah.
um, so look for those Facebook groups. I've seen other photographers do it with success. I haven't done it yet. Um, and also the client inquiry. So when people like inquire you and they're like, oh, you're out of my budget, you can be like, well, if you're willing to, kind of take more of my direction and shoot at this time, this location with an outfit that I suggest or you purchase, like I can do it for like, whatever their budget is. um so that's another way. I've done that with a couple of people where I know them and I know like I've worked with them before and they're like,
Yeah.
I can't afford your new pricing, and I'm like, well, okay, I can keep your whole pricing, so you can kind of like play around with that. But especially when you're beginning, I know you're gonna get so many price shoppers because they know you're new.
Yo,
Yeah. So
yeah.
just
I
kind
get
of
people
turn those
from
price shoppers
California all
into
the
like, well,
time.
whatever then. I'm gonna dress you up and make you become my models, and
See,
you'll
my
get
problem is that people from California are finding me, and I
oh,
can't travel because of COVID. And they're
yeah.
like, "Hey, I want you to do my wedding," and I'm like, "I
Is it
can't."
like recent? Like they
I have
want
no idea.
to?
I've been trying to ask them where they found me, and they just said Google, and I was like, "My Google says Montana, but
That is so funny. Well, that's
if
good.
this blows over, I'll
You
do
have
it."
your SEO down. That's week two, like all the SEO stuff.
Mhm.
So maybe it's in there. Maybe because you do like say in your Instagram, I think that San Francisco, like
Yeah.
you have your like a picture of in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, because I go to
That's
San
not
Francisco whenever I
SEO.
can.
That's not Google. So I don't know why.
I have no idea.
Send them my way. I will take them.
Cool.
But or once you can travel here, you can do it on your own. But yeah.
Yeah, because I want to become like a travel wedding photographer. So
Yeah.
everything says I'll go places. You
Mhm.
just can't right now. Montana won't let you.
I know. Yeah, I have a couple coming from Alabama and they just booked their flights yesterday and they're planning to fly in June 1st. Like,
Oh man.
that this whole restriction is supposed to like end May 31st. I'm like, that's really risky, but if you're really, like at least I'm not responsible for that part. I'm like, yes, once you get here, I will arrange an elopement for you. but
We were
I'm
here,
really hoping
they
they can make
opened,
it.
we opened here. We
Mhm.
just haven't opened like interstate travel.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So, can you just kind of shoot outside now? Can you
Yeah.
even shoot indoors?
Don't think so, not
Yeah,
yet, just outside.
yeah. That's how we are too. So I'm so excited. So those are the places you can find your models. Like, I've never posted on my Instagram or Facebook looking for a model because I hate doing that. I don't know why. I don't know why it intimidates me to like ask people I already know for help. Why
Yeah,
is
I
that?
don't I don't know either.
I'd much rather approach a stranger and be like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Yeah, my Facebook is much more like people I don't know, so I post a lot of things there.
Yeah.
Instagram is like my mom follows me.
That's so funny. Your mom's like, "I'll do it." So
Literally.
those are like basically all strangers that you can approach if you don't want to, besides your friends. But even like the friends I approach for like acquaintances. So anyway,
Yeah.
okay, so you want to make sure they're invested, especially if they're strangers, because it's so easy for them. I've never had a model completely flake out on them. I shouldn't say that. Yes, like somebody I've worked with before would just like the day of be like, "Oh, I can't show up." Um, so to prevent that, you do want to have. So I'm going to show you an application form. This is for the boudoir one that I did a while ago. But when you put it out there, basically, like um even on Facebook groups or whatever, you can just say, hey, if you're interested, here is an inquiry form that you can fill out, because I'm taking applications for a model shoot, because so many people do want free photos, like photos are not cheap.
Yeah, no.
So you can just say like, I think you'd be a good fit if you're interested. Um, Fill out this inquiry form, and I'll gather like, if everything matches, like timing they're available, location, then I'll get back to you, kind of thing. I mean, I get back to everybody, but so you want the email address, all the standard stuff. You want to ask why you want to do this model call, especially if you post on like Facebook groups and just put this inquiry form. I bet so many people just like apply. um and you want to know, like why they want to do this, why they want the photos. For this model call, I made it so it's $150 deposit, which got them like, I forgot, like 20 images or something. um so you could do it that way. Just say, hey, this is a deposit. It will go towards your, images. This is like 1/5 of my normal pricing. So it's like huge discount. So you could do it that way. Or you could just be like, you know what, there is $100 deposit. That's just to prevent me from having no shows. And you will get that $100 back once you come, or something like that if you want to. Um, you could do it either way. So this is like formatted so I could upsell them later. Those kind of things like make me really uncomfortable, so I don't do them anymore. But if you're like, you know what, I'm okay with like upselling later, totally use this. I'm gonna add you to this separate model call course, because it includes this template, a few email templates and contracts that you should use. So I'll add you to that so you have these templates so you don't have to like
Cool,
take.
thank you.
Yeah. um so you can say what products are you interested in from this model shoot, and you can like list out all the products that they might be interested in, so you know what to upsell them on later. Like, hey, you said you were interested in this, I offer these, or whatever. Here, what size dresses and lingerie do you normally wear? If it's not boudoir, you obviously won't want to ask about lingerie
Yeah.
sizes. But like, and I also, in the template I'm giving you, I added another question saying like, how willing are you to take my direction in outfits? And the answers are like, yes, I'll be happy to purchase an outfit, that fits your description, or yes, I will be happy to wear whatever you have, or no. And when it says no, then you obviously know they're not going to be a good fit.
Yeah.
So, and then, can you answer to the following? This is boudoir, so I wanted to make sure they were at least 21. Put down a deposit, and available for a photo shoot during the week, because I didn't want to do a weekend, next month. So they kind of have these conditions and make sure they say yes. Um, and also, if you're not chosen, would you still be interested in booking a session? That kind of gives you a good idea of like, of this person really want. Maybe you might want to add here like, this will not disqualify you from being a model session. I'm just curious, kind of.
Yeah.
Because but you'll at least know like they're in it because they love your photos, whatever. So have a form like this. You can just create it. You have a website, right? Yeah, I saw your
Yeah.
website. Nice. um I'm always nervous who comes on my boot camp, and like, because I'm like, well, you have to have really good photos to like actually people inquire and book you. So I'm always so happy when people have beautiful photos. So yay.
Yeah.
So have this. I'll show you. So let's say somebody filled this out. Oh man, Emily. Okay. Updating my website as we speak. I haven't used this form in so long, so hold on. My goodness. So actually, I already did a mock. Um, so if somebody inquires, it's going to come in here.
Hmm.
So what I do, and all these email templates will be in your thing, but I just wanted to show you like how kind of the general flow of how a model will inquire, and then what you will do to like answer. So you will want to respond with you immediately kind of want them to, so okay, so there's two things you can do. If you get the inquiry and you're like, you know what, they might be a good fit, um you respond with this saying thank you for applying, I love the reason you want to do this, blah blah blah, and say you're one of the chosen models to fill the 2 to 3 spots available. I'm so excited. It's going to be this location, and please fill out this doodle of the best time you might be available. Um, so then that means that it's like you're moving them to the next step. Like, okay, let's see if we have the same date availability in the location. If you don't think they're the right fit, you can just email them this, um, thanks for applying. Right now I'm at capacity, because you have enough people that you think will be qualified, and they're not one of them basically. But would you like to be on the wait list? Besides this, like in the future, I'm going to have these model calls if you have any plan, but otherwise you can just say wait list, or do you want to be notified if something else happens? Because if they might not be a good fit for this shoot, but they could be good for
Mhm.
something else. So you can send them this. Once you get all the dates that your model people, say that I'm available these dates. That's not it. You are going to send them this, saying you're invited for this model call. It's going to be this day. I'm going to send you a proposal for the deposit. So whoever, the first 3 people who will actually pay the deposit will be chosen, and it would happen on these dates. I do have a frequently asked questions page, but I don't want to overwhelm you, but that's like something you do eventually.
Yeah.
Especially if you're charging people, like if you're giving them 10 images for the $150, like they might have a lot of questions tied to that. So
Yeah. That's what I'm working on right now.
yeah, what the
Just a
150.
frequently asked questions
Oh,
page.
yeah, so good. I think, well, if you need any examples, let me know. I can send you mine or a link to it. So I send them the proposal. This is what a proposal looks like on Honeybook, but you can definitely, I think whatever you choose, they'll have something similar. So you lay out the $150. This is the way they pay it, and this is a contract that they should sign. The model boudoir one has them post as a nudity, but I also included the contract template for like a generic one. Definitely not legal advice, consult your own attorney. This is just a template, all the disclaimers, but it is a good start. So just fill it out as applicable as it is for you. And I send that out. And after all this, they're going to be invested. They're going to be like, okay, I signed a contract, number one, I already put it on the deposit. Even if they don't put in a deposit, the whole fact that they signed a contract, they're going to be invested. And
Yeah.
don't feel awkward about sending a contract, because it's just professional, like they're just gonna
Yeah.
see you as a professional rather than like somebody taking payments, like, hey, just send me a Venmo, or just show up on this date and
Yeah.
we'll do something. Just having a contract, like, it could be awkward asking for it. Like, I'm even awkward about it sometimes, but at the end of the day, I'm like, no, it's professional. They feel good about it, all that. So um, yeah, so that's how they're going to be invested. They're going to show up, because the last thing you want to do is set all this up and them not showing
Yeah.
up. So when you get all those applications, some of them I already talked about, like make sure, they're okay getting directions from you, and what to wear and all that, because it is your vision and you're doing this for free, most likely, or very like minimal amount. Like, you're not going to be making any money from it directly. But um, other things to consider are like make sure they love and value photography. That's always nice. Some people just don't care about photos, but some people love
Yeah.
photos. And those are like the people you want to get because they will. I have like a one model call person that's come back to me as like a real client. Maybe not more than, I have more than one, but one person I can think of. Um, you know, if they fill out the form correctly, you probably know they're pretty responsible. If they sign the contract, they're responsible. It's also beneficial if, like I said, they don't have to have a lot of followers, but if they have good engagement and, people listen to what they say, then those are good like indicators, like they're an influential person. So that's bonus. Like the first two free shoots I did ever, they were both Instagram people that, had followers. Not many, but they still had people who actually check out. Like if they said,
Yeah.
"Oh, Emily is a photographer who did this," like I knew they would click on that tag and check me out at least. So it's good to be strategic like that. I already kind of knew them, which was helpful. So if you know somebody that has like good amount of followers, maybe you can just ask them. But yeah, that's kind of the presentation I had. I hope this gave you like good ideas to jumpstart. Um,
Yeah, I definitely learned stuff.
okay, cool. Yay.